Hello and welcome to another HELiOS short clip, this time about HELiOS version 30.0, that is, the major release of HELiOS 2025. This video is about the new setting options for the integrated viewer in the HELiOS Desktop. We have done away with the help preview INI file and integrated the whole thing into our HELiOS options as usual, and we have also expanded the options. First of all, I would like to thank PBF Fassadentechnik GmbH for providing another very nice example for the video series of these short clips with their active energy building. So, let's start and take a look at where to find these new settings. Here, in the HELiOS options, we find the new Preview tab, which we can also export as usual after we have set it up. As you can see, we have the generic term Preview, and below that the general setting, which is what the video is about. The small icon behind it shows us that the HELiOS settings are user-specific, which means that each HELiOS user can configure their own viewing. So let's go to the Preview settings and start at the top of the window. Here you can define how HELiOS should behave when a graphic tab or graphic window, where a preview is defined, is shown when browsing through a document list, for example. In other words, you can either set the system to always load the graphic as soon as you select a document, which can, of course, slow down the process if larger documents are in between, or depending on the format, because then the preview is always loaded first until you can move on to the next document. Furthermore, I have the option to determine here that I would like it to always happen as in the first option, but only for files up to X MB in size. This means that if I exceed X MB, I really have to click in the preview window in the respective area, and then the preview will be reloaded. At the moment, however, this MB limit is still the same for all file extensions, so whether the format is PDF, IFC, DWG, or SZA, this restriction really applies to all formats. Finally, I have the option to never load the preview automatically, but only when I really need it, and click in the corresponding preview area, which is the third option here. Next, we have the large area here for setting up the individual viewers for the respective formats. So, firstly, this info button is useful for users to obtain information. When I click on it, a large info window opens, showing all information on the available viewers and the associated file extensions. The area here at the top contains external viewers, which are viewers that need to be installed in addition to the HELiOS installation. And, here at the bottom, viewers that have recently been added and come with the HELiOS installation, which means that you don't actually need to do anything to use them. The viewers at the top, in contrast, need to be explicitly installed. The green or red dot at the front indicates availability. A green dot means that the corresponding viewer is installed and available, also in the sense that it exists in a matching version. The red dot can either mean that the viewer is not installed on the computer, or that it is installed as an outdated version, for example here for eDrawings, where version 31.5 is required, but only version 30.5 is installed. This means that the installed viewer cannot be used for the current HELiOS version. So, what we have here are Cadmium Cloud, TrueView, eDrawings, HiCAD Viewer, Kister's 3D View Station as external viewers, the various Office applications, and in addition, the web browser. Here, in the right area, you can see both at the top and at the bottom the possible formats that can be viewed with the individual viewers. At this point, an important detail for users of the Cadmium Viewer, you can additionally define for which formats the Cadmium Viewer should be usable at all. That is, the list here is actually flexible, dependent on which formats you have then set in the Cadmium Viewer area. Please also note the following information, so that no one will be surprised. When you set up a viewer for a new file format and use one of these included viewers, these take effect immediately. That is, you do not need to restart HELiOS. If you want to register one of these external viewers in HELiOS for a new format, you only need to restart once. After this, the required viewer will be available to you. Now we will take a look at the actual settings of the viewers with regard to the individual formats, which means that this is done here in this large table. We have the formats here on the left. On the right, we can see the individual options for where there can be previews. These are those four, that is, the document mask, the graphic tab, the graphic window, and also the explorers. And we have the standard column. Standard is, so to speak, the default fallback for this format, if I have not defined anything in one of these preview windows. To briefly explain what is what, this can also be seen here at the top, so the document mask means that I can also use the HELiOS mask editor to insert a viewer into my document mask. That is, wherever I see attributes, I can also insert a small viewer. The graphic tab is what you always see in the detail dialogues. That is, really the tab that you can go to, and that is called graphic. The graphic window is the detached graphic window, which I can show you briefly by going to Window and selecting Graphic here. So let me go back again. By the way, Explorer means this graphic window down here that you can show in the Project Explorer and in the Folder Explorer. This is, by the way, also explained here in this area. So, now that we have explained the whole thing, I would then like to show you what this standard column is all about. This means that if you have configured standard and do not explicitly define anything for the individual preview options, then the default is always used. In this case, the HiCAD viewer, image display, would be used for the document mask. If you want to configure something particular for one of the areas, then you can simply select something here from this list box, and you will only be given the corresponding viewers that are available for the format. If you then select something particular here, then this viewer will be used in exactly this area. You also have the option of determining, for example, here for the URL, that if you don't want to define anything at all in the standard, then the document mask, graphics window, and explorer are completely empty. That is, they are undefined, which means that a preview would simply never be displayed in these preview areas, and you can then define something particular for the graphics tab, in this case the web browser. So, that would be the setting if you didn't want to define a viewer everywhere, because otherwise there would be too many previews. Also, we have these three buttons at the top which are used to configure the settings. You can use the blue round arrow symbol to reset the whole thing to the factory settings. That means that when you click on it, the factory settings for the viewers are restored. You use the red cross symbol to remove corresponding file extensions and their configuration. And with the green plus symbol you can add a new file extension. We will do that now, and then we will define what it should look like for PDF, so we can enter PDF or .pdf here as we like, the spelling doesn't really matter here, and confirm with OK. We will then get a new row down here, which is predefined with Windows Explorer, and then everything is actually set to standard. But now I want to define, for example, that the standard is actually empty, because I don't want to have a preview everywhere. I then want to define that the normal Mozilla PDF viewer is used in my graphic tab in the Details pane, which is just a holistic preview for PDF, where I can use all the options that I would also have in Mozilla, for example, to view a PDF. And then, I still want to have a quick preview down here in my Explorer window by determining that I just want to see an image of my PDF, also from the Mozilla PDF viewer. If I do this, only the first page of the PDF will be displayed as an image here, in this area on the left, which is much faster to load. I will then click Apply. The viewers I had used here, Mozilla PDF and Mozilla PDF View Image Display, are integrated viewers that are included, so I don't have to restart HELiOS. So I will click OK, and then go to my PDF. So, in this graphic tab on the right, we now have a full view of the PDF, so we can scroll, zoom, and so on. We can also add something here if we like, texts or markings, for example. And here in the graphic window on the left, we have the image of the first page of the PDF, and we have thus defined our viewer setting for PDF. Thanks for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.